Howdy y'all, this is Dwight and welcome back to my channel. This here's going to be the final part of the series showing my attempt at making a pocket knife without using the pattern, tracing, or drawing or anything of the sort. And as we can see, I am pleased to say that I made me a functioning pocket knife out of the deal. For those of y'all that make pocket knives, you know the first attempt at a new pattern, drawing or tracing or anything can be a bit of a challenge and usually doesn't turn into a functioning pocket knife right off the bat. At least not for me anyways. Last time I tried that off of a tracing, I think. Another one of my video series. I kept what I had for a pattern. So anyhow, this one was good enough that I went ahead and finished it. Well, how did I do compared to the drawing I was going by? This Schrade jackknife right here. Well, I didn't do it exactly like the picture, and I was well into the fit up period whenever I finally realized what the differences was. The main differences is on the spine of the handle, there's a subtle curve to it, and on the inside there's a subtle curve. So the butt end is just ever so slightly kicked up. Whereas mine, I did a straight spine and straight along the inside as well. So everything is just straight. There is no subtle curve or nothing like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not like what I was attempting to copy. The blade shape, pretty good. It's a little slimmer looking compared to this. In my opinion, there's more belly on that blade. Of course, I did a long pull with a shorter swedge compared to the traditional nail nick with a swedge going on top of it. But I made more of a slimmer profile on the blade. Now, how would I rate myself? In my opinion, subtle variances can be important. Being I made a functioning pocket knife, I give myself about a B, because I didn't get the actual shapes as close as I would have liked. If I would have went from a drawing where you could keep tweaking it and redoing it till you get it to where it's right, or tracing or a pattern, well, you're well ahead of the curve compared to just going flying off the cuff, so to speak, like I did. But it's still a nice looking pocket knife. I doubt I'll call it a jackknife though. Be a great everyday carry in my personal opinion, and unless a family member talks me out of this, that's probably exactly what I'm going to do with it, and swap out my tired current everyday carry that I've carried going on probably might not be quite 2 years yet, but it's getting there, and replace it with this one. I think it's about time. Okay. One question I had, I forget which video now, but was basically asked me how much time was I having in this. The overall time, not counting the time for heat treating, of course, because that's hours, but of actual me working on this, aside from the heat treat, from start to finish, I have approximately 6, possibly 7 hours in this. I think it's closer to 6, because I was rushing some stuff, especially the handle finish. Which is pretty good time. It just took me a month or more because of my limited time in the shop. So there is that for those of you that would be curious about how long it took me to do this. I'll get this book out of the way. Set that down there. And we'll get on to the actual knife. The handle is 3 5/8 inches long, and the overall length is 6 1/8 inches long. Now, if I make this again, I will be making the blade a little longer because there's room in there to make this about an 1/8 inch longer, which would bring the blade out closer to where it starts rounding down, which would make the overall profile look a little better, flow a little better, I should say. But again, nothing wrong with the knife in itself. Very slim profile, which I do like that. This should disappear in the pocket a lot easier than if the blade was sitting way higher. That is one positive of the belly not being quite as fat compared to the Schrade jackknife. So there is some positives, but that's why I just give myself a B. Of course, as usual, I use CPM 154 for the blade and back spring. No liner or no file work on the liners, and if you look close, you can tell. Like I said, I hurried the finishing of it. I only did a 400 satin finish on the handle. Handle's G10. That is OD green, tan, and black, layered in colors. Did a 400 hand finish on the blade bevels. Just a 400 grit belt finish on the swedge. And I've got fingers smudges all over this thing. Turned out pretty good. Has a nice snappy action. I would say it's 5.5, possibly 6, something in that realm as far as the pull. Overall, a decent everyday carry in my opinion, which is what I plan on doing with it. So, for everyone that has been following along on this series, I surely do thank you. And I appreciate y'all stopping by and seeing how this turned out. Till y'all come by and visit me on my next video, y'all take care.